What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2019 Ford F-250 Super Duty Platinum with the Ultimate package. Up front is a 6.7 liter turbo diesel V8, and down below is a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this here Super Duty for many reasons, but mainly the fact that this is probably one of the largest vehicles I've driven here on the channel. It's definitely one of the largest vehicles on sale today, and I always enjoy showing my European and Asian viewers that yes, you can go out and buy one of these behemoths at your corner Ford store and drive it home like nothing. So that's always exciting to me. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, zackpradel.com, where you can buy stickers and other merchandise when it becomes available. You can also submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form, and you get a video of your car just like this one. And you could read my behind the scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to that 6.7 liter turbo diesel V8 under the hood. Well, it is a Power Stroke engine. Ford has been using Power Strokes for quite some time, dating back to like the 7.3s of the late 90s. This particular engine makes 450 horsepower, pretty respectable, but at 1,800 RPM, it pumps out 935 foot-pounds of torque. This thing is an absolute behemoth. Is it fast? No, of course not. But it has the grunt, it has the grit to pull and tow whatever you want to pull and tow. That's the whole reason for this truck, is to do work. And we'll talk about that more a little bit later on. Like I said, paired to it, 6-speed automatic. A lot of other trucks are switching to 10 speeds, things like that, but this is a very heavy duty application. And so 6 speeds tend to be a lot stronger. They can build them a lot stronger. And so that's what we see here today. Last but not least, about the drivetrain, of course, it is 4-wheel drive, and we'll talk about how to select that a little bit later on. But how does it feel to actually drive an F-250? Now, this is the quad cab with the extended bed. This is the longest F-Series chassis you can buy. Well, it feels huge. It feels massive. It feels lumpy and lazy and slow, but it's because it has so much grunt behind it. It's like driving a vault of molasses. But, as I recently learned, in Boston, there was a molasses outbreak that killed people. I'm not kidding. You think molasses is the slowest moving thing on earth, and it's pretty dang slow, but it has that power behind it. That's exactly how it feels to drive this truck. It is massive. It does have 360 cameras, which are a godsend for something this big, and especially someone like me. I deal with a lot of economy cars, a lot of sports cars, 4-doors, hatchbacks, sedans. This is a completely new world compared to those vehicles. Now, I've driven big trucks before. I used to drive a big truck, and so just spatially, it takes up so much room, and so much thought has to go into, I hope I'm not bumping X, Y, or Z. So driving this truck is definitely a handful, and anyone who says it isn't either has driven these trucks their entire life and they don't know anything else, or they're in denial. All right, so 6.7 liter turbo diesel V8 paired to that 6-speed automatic transmission going out just to the rear wheels. Right now, we're still in 2-wheel drive. It is a very, very nice day in January here. It's actually 51 degrees outside in January, so I'm gonna enjoy this and, ready? It's not very fast, but you just feel this monumental shove from underneath you. Obviously, this thing was not built for straight line speed. It's built for towing and pulling things that God himself couldn't unearth. But that's what it's like in a straight line, and it's just you gotta feel the torque, man. You just gotta feel the torque. It's almost 1,000. Well, that's about the way. Let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 2 physical gauges and a screen. Off to the left is my tachometer. Off to the right is the speedometer. And then I get this very, very customizable screen in the center. Ford has been really, really good about doing this all throughout the 2010s and now, of course, into the 2020s. So much information, I don't even really have the time to show you everything it's capable of. So hopefully I'm trying to scroll through as much as I can right now, trying to vamp so you can see as much stuff, but there's so much great great information in here, and you can really, really customize it. And so in terms of a screen, this really knocks it out of the park, and I consider it a 10 out of 10. On the steering wheel on the left, I have my controls for that screen in the center gauge cluster, as well as my cruise control options. And off to the right, I have volume, skip track, mode, mute, voice commands, and phone options. The overall look and feel of the steering wheel isn't anything impressive. I think it looks presentable, but nothing more beyond that. Off to the left, I do have a climate control vent, as well as my mirror lights. I can turn on my lights on my mirrors. And then down below, we have fog lights, headlights, pedal adjustments, and my tailgate button. Moving on to the door, I have my power mirror adjustments. So that's not only adjusting the mirror itself, but I can also bring the mirrors out and in for towing. Then I have my window switches and my memory seat options down below, 3 different levels of memory seats. Moving into the center, we have our B&O speaker. Ford has used these speakers for a long time in their Platinum vehicles. I really, really love the sound. Then we have a couple of interesting buttons. So off to the left, this is actually for engine braking. You can turn on automatic engine braking. You can toggle it on and off. Really, really cool and really nice, just at the push of a button. Then I have traction control, my hazard switch, hill descent control, lane keep assist, and my camera button, which cannot be used while driving. Then we have the infotainment screen. I'm not gonna harp on this too long. However, it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It is Ford's Sync 3 system, meaning it is not wireless CarPlay, but it's still fairly modern. Ford's still making some vehicles with the Sync 3. They haven't fully switched over to the Sync 4 quite yet, but I like it nevertheless. I think it's easy to use, very intuitive, and overall, I like it. Then we have our volume off to the left, tune off to the right, and some media buttons in the center. I have my 4-wheel drive settings off to the left for 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low, as well as I can pull it out to lock the rear diff. Off to the right of the tune knob, I do have a 12-volt outlet as well as a regular wall outlet. Love seeing that. Then we have our climate controls. So I do get dual zone as well as automatic climate controls, heated and cooled seats, not just ventilated, but actual AC seats with fan speed. And then I have my trailer brake adjustments off to the left. Then I get a big cubby with 2 USB chargers, as well as a ton of extra storage space. The center console itself off to the left, even more storage space for putting whatever tools, knickknacks, whatever you want. And then we have cup holders off to the right. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the F-250, and I'm very happy to report that it does in fact pass. Most F-Series pickup trucks after the 90s do pass the big friggin' bottle test, so that's no surprise here. Then we get a giant center console, of course, as I always say, you could fit a rotisserie chicken in here. 12-volt outlet, some other knickknacks and doodads in there, nothing too crazy. The seats are very comfortable. Like I said, they are heated, power, cooled, memory, and massage. Because this is the Platinum, I can adjust my massage settings. And so I am getting a very nice supple massage while driving a small solar system. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats. So let's go do a backseat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2019 Ford F-250. There's so much space back here. First of all, these seats are heated, which is fantastic. I get a 12-volt outlet, 2 USB chargers, and a regular wall outlet back here. Fantastic. I get these nice little LED lights I can turn on and off. Hooks. I get to enjoy this bigger sunroof. It actually goes all the way back. I get a center console. Pop out cup holders. Pretty sweet, but just the sheer amount of size is nicer than most cars at all. And this is a truck. I still have so much bed behind me. I mean, I think we can all agree I'm not a small guy. I can sit down here, actually, relatively comfortably. My neck kind of hurts because I'm up against the door, but I could sit in between the seats and the center console. I mean, you don't even get this stuff in like an S-Class. Trucks to me are so staggeringly roomy. It's no wonder it feels like I'm driving an apartment complex. Anyway. Let's go take a look at the truck bed. All right, so we're on the back of the F-250, and right here on the key fob, hit it twice, and the tailgate actually comes down fully powered, which is just fantastic. Not too much to report back here. Nothing too crazy. It's a big, long bed. But if you need a big, long bed, you can most certainly get it here in the F-250. I mean, this thing is just massive. Now we gotta talk about the looks. And first of all, I don't love the fact that this is finished in white. I think white cars 9 times out of 10 are rather boring. However, I like the way that this truck is designed. I think it has a very contemporary look while being so large and in charge. I really, really like that about it. And overall, when you see this on the road, you know that it's a heavy piece of machinery. It's not mistaken for a 1/4 ton or 1/2 ton even. This is a 3/4 ton nuclear power plant that happens to have 4 wheels. But with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think finally driving this big behemoth of an automobile? Well, first of all, I want to say just from a truck standpoint, with the Ultimate package and the Platinum trim level, this thing has everything you could ever want and more. The seats massage, heat, and cool you. The steering wheel's heated. I have Apple CarPlay. I have a banging audio system. I can lock my rear diff. I have auto climate control. I can auto engine brake. I have a sunroof. I have auxiliary switches. There's not a single thing in a pickup truck that I would want that this truck does not have. That's a beautiful thing. But now I do want to talk about how I feel. I want to talk about my feelings for a second. Driving this truck has done something to me. From the second I got into it, it's hard not to get a God complex while driving this. There are people in this country and around the world that their living situation isn't as big as just this truck. Not only that, when you're sitting in here, you are physically above everyone else, which mentally makes you think, I'm above everyone else. I kind of get it now. Driving this truck, it's hard to not think that you're better than everyone else. I understand why people who own big pickup trucks get a bad rap. When I put my foot onto the gas pedal, I hear an army, 8 strong under the hood, shoveling coal into a giant furnace so I could be propelled forward. I know that's not how mechanically it works, but that's how I feel. When you drive this truck, you move land, sea, and air. You command attention and you command the road. This truck is a drivable ego boost. And I understand when people start to get acquainted with that, well, they start lifting their trucks. They start putting bigger wheels on it. They start making them less practical because you're chasing that feeling that I got when I hopped right into this thing. It's funny, you know, switch to the in-car. When I got into this truck, I immediately put the window down. I had my right hand on the wheel and I was driving like this, as if I was the mayor of Naperville, pointing at people and saying hi and shaking hands. Hey, how you doing? In a big white chariot, kind of looking out over my land. Ah, yes, the serfs are doing their jobs, knowing that at any moment, I could turn my wrist and I could create a news story. Ah, you see this? My grandpappy and his grandpappy before that used to own everything you see here. And now it is all under my control. There's a ominous, continuous ticking from the diesel engine. It's like how a grizzly bear can't contain its breathing when hunting its prey. I get it, man. I get it. Oh, coming up the hill here, overlooking my land. Everything the light touches, I can drive to. I'm the king of the world! It's gonna be hard getting back into my little economy Mazda after this. Am I saying this feeling is right? No. I'm no better than anyone else. And a little secret to life, no one's better than anyone else. We all have issues. We all have problems. We're all insecure. But at least driving this truck, I don't feel that way. I'm driving a big white whale, not getting called it in my YouTube comment section. And that's a nice feeling. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. I hope you enjoyed my review of this F-250. I want you to leave a comment of a famous quote, but miscredit it to a different historical figure. For instance, if you ain't first, you're last. Abraham Lincoln. That'll be our little inside joke. Thanks for visually watching my power trip live happen before you. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, subscribe if you really liked it, and always remember, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Steve Buscemi said that. Take care, guys.